So this is the 1290 SuperDuke R, and this is the bike that I use to commute on a daily basis. I use it to go to my workshop, I use it to go shopping and just generally run errands. For me, the more upright seating position compared to a conventional sports bike makes it more appealing to use on a day-to-day basis, and the big V-twin engine with all that torque makes it really easy to use and versatile as a daily runaround. But don't be fooled, this bike really is a capable bike, and you take it on the track and it transforms into an absolute weapon.
Alright, so with the post office run done, it's now time to get the bike ready for the track. Because this weekend we're going to Circuit Andalusia.
So as with any motorcycle, service and maintenance is really important. For your own safety, you want the bike to perform the best it possibly can. You don't want it to let you down, especially the brakes and suspension and things like that. So it can be dangerous. So it's really important to make sure everything's tip top. Now, I might have left this a little bit long, but it's time for a service. And one of the things I'm going to look at more than anything is the brakes, because before I go on the track where I'm going to be doing in excess of 250 kilometers an hour and needing to stop quickly, I want to make sure the brakes are tip top. I'll also be doing a few other changes in preparation for the track.
Think that's about due for replacement. So is the brake pads that came. Quite a bit of work, a bit of track work. See on the very edge. Shouldn't have let them go this far, but it's definitely time to replace them. Left it too long, this one.
So if you need to fit new brake pads, don't rush the job. Take your time and get it right. And if you're unsure, get a professional to help you. But one of the things that you must not do is don't push the pistons back with dirt on them. It's really important, because all you do is you push that dirt back into the caliper, it gets in the seals, and it's going to cause you a problem at a later date. It's really important to clean the caliper and the pistons properly before you push the pistons back. Now for that I use Motorex degreaser, and then I use a brake cleaner as well from Motorex. And it's important to use a product that doesn't deteriorate the seals and rubber inside your caliper, because you're going to have a problem. So it's not advisable to use petrol, for example. So now we've cleaned the caliper thoroughly and we're happy that it's really spotless, we can finally push the pistons back in preparation for the new pads.
Alright, I had to go call my friend Salvador, the local mechanic, and get the big dogs in for this one.
So as you can see, I'm getting the slick tyres down off the shelf. This time I've decided to use slicks on the track, since last time I used the road tyres that came with the bike. I'm using slicks because they operate at a much higher performance level in a controlled environment, and that environment is dry tarmac, dry conditions, and when you can maintain heat in the tyre, so when you're pushing hard. Road tyres are typically designed to be used in more uncontrolled environments where it could be cold and the tyres warm up quicker on their own, and it could be wet. But here we don't have those conditions, so we'll be using tyre warmers to get the tyres up to speed, because they're harder to heat up and they also don't operate very well in cold temperatures at all. So we'll use tyre warmers to get them up to speed, and then we'll be able to push hard straight out of the box. I'm really looking forward to see how the slick tyres work on this bike. So now I'm starting to put the brakes back together. Now I must say here that, look, if you're uncertain about your mechanical skills working on your bike, especially at bikes that do speed like this, It's really important to make sure that everything is done properly, Loctited, torqued up properly. If you don't have the right tools and you don't have the right knowledge, please make sure that you seek professional advice. Either go to your KTM dealer or find a professional mechanic to help you with it or guide you to understand how to do it properly. I can't express enough how important it is for your own safety that you do it properly and you get it done right. So now I'm going to change the final drive ratio on the bike. When I used the bike at Jerez, I found that it was really tall geared. Now, the reason for this is most production bikes are geared for comfort on the road and also efficiency, so cruising efficiency. And comfort and cruising efficiency are two things that we're really not interested about on the track. So what we want is we want maximum usability out of the transmission that we've got on the engine in the bike. So we want to make sure that we gear the bike to be absolutely flat out at the peak performance in top gear on the fastest part of the track. And then what we can do is we find the other gears then are more usable. When I was at Jerez, I only used the first 5 gears. But what I want to do is when we go to this track, I've shortened the gear ratio by putting a smaller front sprocket on so that I've got more gear choice in the turns, and I'll also use the full gearbox. So here I'm just putting the huge rear slick tyre in the bike, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this performs. It should give me loads more corner speed, corner confidence, and also mega drive out of the corners, more so than we've been getting on the road tyres. And that means I'll be able to back the traction control back as well, and that'll again give us more drive. I'm just fitting the safety pin here on the rear wheel nut. This bike has a single side swing arm and just one huge wheel nut. It's really important that that's torqued up to the factory specifications, it's prepared properly, and this safety clip is put in place to stop it coming undone. Last thing you want is a wheel nut problem on this bike at high speed. So now I'm going to remove some of the non-essential parts on the bike for the track. So things that are needed on the road like lights, turn signals, rear foot pegs and mirrors are all going to come off the bike. Now KTM make it really easy to do that, and even the whole rear license plate section with the turn signals is like a few bolts and one plug and it comes off, and it just makes the bike really nice and clean for track use. Hey guys, I'm just sat here in my van, just pulled over to say a few words. I'm on my way to the circuit now. In the last episode, I took the SuperDuke to Jerez. It was the first time on track for a long time, and I really had a fun day, really getting to know the bike. Totally standard bike, standard tyres, standard everything. And I really enjoyed it, but what it left me wanting more, and it also left me realising that, you know, some 10 years away from like competitive stroke high speed track riding really made me rusty, and I felt like I was a bit like a wooden board riding the bike. So I decided to accelerate my learning a little bit, and in 2019 I met Simon Crafar, ex-GP rider. Some of you may know him for what he does more recently is the commentator on Moto GP, where he does the Tech Talk series and the pit lane stuff. Really cool what he does for Moto GP. I really enjoy watching it, and I'm sure many of you do. And He talked to me at Silverstone Moto GP in 2019 and mentioned about his Moto Voodoo training school, and I obviously talked as well about my rally school and what I do with the rally bikes, and it just twigged really that maybe I should contact Simon and see if I can get some time on the track with Simon and really hone my skills and accelerate my learning on the track, and more importantly not only be fast but also to be safe. Because you know I don't want to get injured. I want to stay well. So today we're Circuito de Almeria, a circuit of Almeria in the south of Spain, and I've actually got 2 days this weekend with Simon Crafar, so it's going to be super cool, and I'm going to bring it to you and share the experience and the time that we've got this weekend. So let's go.
Thanks, Simon.
So here I am meeting Simon with a COVID handshake, and you can see we're both wearing masks. It's really important in these difficult times to follow the COVID guidelines and protocol, both of the circuit that we're at and the country that we're in, to allow us to continue to do these things we love to do. So with the sound of bikes out on the track, it's time to get all my safety gear on from head to toe and get out on the track myself. So I'm spending some time here talking about the circuit with Simon, and one of the hardest things when you get to a new circuit is learning the circuit, learning the fast lines, track position, braking points, and it takes time, and to build up to that is a long process. So it's much quicker to get some advice from somebody that knows the track, that knows the fast lines, that can point you in the right direction from the beginning, because it'll accelerate the speed it takes to get up to speed on the track. So I'm just getting some tips on track position, braking markers, and things that will help me out on the track. So with the tyres up to temperature, it's now time to remove the tyre warmers and get out on the track myself. With a slick tyre with tyre warmers up to temperature, you can literally go out on the track and hit the first corner maximum attack. And if you maintain a certain level of speed on the track, you maintain the heat in the tyres, which allows you to keep pushing at all times. It's really important to set the tyre pressure and get the temperature in the tyre before you go out on the track. And if you're unsure about the correct tyre pressures for your bike, speak to a professional at the circuit that can advise you what pressures to run. So the first few sessions on a new circuit for me are always a little bit sketchy. You know, you've got to learn so much. Track position, braking markers, apexes, wide lines, double corners where you can join two together, and the grip levels on the circuit. And it takes time to build up to that, and it's really important to take that time. The last thing you want to do is go straight out on the new circuit, not knowing the circuit, go too fast and have an accident. And so really take your time, build up to it slowly. I take 3 or 4 sessions before I get up to speed, concentrate on track position, learn the traction on the track and the braking points, all the apexes, so you can hit a nice smooth line, and then you can start pushing more. Simon's in front of me, and when Simon's in front of me, I try and get the hammer down and stay with him. One good thing about him being in front of me is it encourages me to go faster, and you find grip levels that you never knew were imaginable. So I really liked it when he was in front. When he's behind you for a reason. He's looking at where I can make improvements. So you've got to blank him out, get the hammer down, ride how you know how to ride, do the best you can, and then afterwards accept all the feedback and go out on the next session and try and improve your riding based on the pointers that he's given you.
Tighter there.
No, listen. You're putting it all together, man, now. Really good. You're quite confident down in turn one.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared of that, and you're like firing it in there. And now it's turning it.
Lifting my arm up there.
But you turn it, doesn't run wide when you...
Yeah, no, it's definitely better, and it's just me making it turn.
Yeah, making it turn.
Instead of being scared about it, yeah. Pull my legs in.
This thing to focus on, you'll see it next lap without someone, is just using a little more throttle, so you need a little bit more lean and use the grip that's there.
Okay,
because right now it's like there's some grip left. You've got your knee on the ground, but there's some grip left, so you can carry a little bit more speed.
Look at this. Simon even cooked lunch, like rice and some nice seafood with vegetables. Perfect.
So I finished riding for day one. Had a really great day today. Amazing how much improvement you can make when you get the right guidance. So I'm really happy with that. The bike's just sleeping here in the garage. Actually going to sleep in the garage tonight. And Simon, Mr. Crafar's cooking us some steak over here. So looking forward to that. Garage life, it's like being a kid again. Is that going to make me faster tomorrow, Simon?
It's going to make you happy. And happy riders are fast riders.
If I'm happy, I'm fast. The Moto Voodoo kitchen. Perfect. So for you guys that think I'm all professional now and sleeping in nice hotels and everything after races to places, well, this is where I spent the night last night, next to my bike in the garage at Circuit Andalusia, sleeping on the floor. Awesome. You do what you've got to do.
Waves that shake me out of my skin.
So here we are at Circuit Almeria. I'm stood with Simon Crafar, and yesterday, what an amazing day I had at the circuit here. I learned so much from Simon. We got another bike coming. You'll be doing the commentary on Moto GP with the blokes. Awesome day yesterday riding. Learned so much in just one day. It's really quite amazing. It's great to be out here in Spain in the sun. Thanks for taking the time, Simon. I had a really fun day.
It's been my pleasure. I didn't have to work on his braking. He brakes like a demon, but we've got some other things to figure out today.
Quite a few.
Now that you know the track.
Yeah.
And also the enjoyable bit for me last night was putting the world to rights.
Yeah.
We camped and we spoke about where he started trials. I started with motocross,
yeah.
and we worked our way. Both did enduro. He's gone to rally. I had a little taster, did one rally. Now and then on to road bikes on closed circuits, and then finished on cars, didn't we? We're getting old. We're starting to get interested in fast
to talk
cars.
about fast cars. We must be showing our age now,
Yeah,
Simon.
exactly.
But no, really looking forward to another day at the track here today and spinning some more laps with you.
Cool.
So now we're on to day 2 and I'm really starting to get the feel for the bike now on the slick tyres. It's taken a full day to get here, but I'm really starting to understand how much I can push this bike with slick tyres, and it really is blowing me away. It's mind-blowing how much corner grip you've got and how much acceleration you can get out of the corners as you start to wind the traction control back and feel the traction with your throttle hand. It really is quite special. The bike's starting to move around a bit now and I'm getting more and more confident with it as time goes on.
Bloody lovely.
Another one bites the dust. Do you see what I have to go through? Replacing all these GoPros just to grab that one shot. Smashed. LP7 RIP.
Well, that was a good session. Just really starting to get the feel of the bike now, and Simon's given me the confidence now to start winding back the traction control, and that was like a big step forward because the bike's not hesitating anymore. So really good session, sliding around a little bit in that one. Real lot of fun. Like, this bike is just phenomenal. Like, it's so good, and with slicks and the right training and experience, you can have so much fun comfortably and safely. So really excellent, great session.
the end of day 2, I was really getting the hang of it, and I have to say, I was on it. For me anyway, I was really pushing hard, the bike moving around, hitting all the braking markers, starting to hit the correct apexes. And when you start to pull all of that together, track position, braking points, hard acceleration, and your lap times start to come down, it really is so enjoyable. So glad I put slicks on the bike, and so glad that I got some time with Simon to try and help me get up to speed on the track. There's Simon pulling a few wheelies for the camera behind me. Simon, if I knew you was doing that, I'd be joining in. So next time we're on track, I'm definitely going to get my wheelie game on. Okay, where to start? First of all, just a wrap of the weekend really. Here we are, just finished at Almeria, 2 days on circuit, and I'm doing what Simon normally does at Moto GP with the mic like this.
You need some
because,
Moto GP noise.
Yeah, I only have one mic, so we just have to make do with this. But first thing, just fantastic weekend. I really enjoyed myself, and for me, the accelerated learning from you has been priceless, because I would have spent probably 10 track weekends getting to where I am today. So feel really awesome. So thanks very much for everything.
My pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. I mean, it's been really enjoyable for me as well, because you soaked it up and you were brave enough to give it a go, whatever I said. Yeah, it's thoroughly enjoyed working with you, really. The thing is, I've been doing this for so long, it'd be like the guys that come to do your dirt riding thing. Yeah. The whole thing about Moto Voodoo is I raced bikes for 20 years, and it's like, going up through national stuff, and then, to the other Northern Hemisphere, and then to World Championship. The thing is, like anyone who does a trade and works their way to the top, yep, in a trade, if they went and sat down and wrote a book and made a film and made a script, it'd be worth listening to. That's all it is, that's all motivated. And I try to put it across as simple as possible. That's basically it.
Well, for me, it was really worth it, and thoroughly enjoyed it. But coming from, dirt bikes onto the tarmac, like a lot of people on social media have been asking, like, what has it been like, the transition from dirt to tarmac? And I've never been quick on tarmac, I can ride a bike, and I can ride a bike off-road well. But having the confidence in the turns on the asphalt was completely alien to me, and that's why I came. And what I've seen from this weekend is people are asking, how was the transition? Well, having the confidence in the turns, because on a dirt bike you slide all the time, and you slide. It's the opposite on the track. It don't slide. There's so much traction, especially on slicks. My first time on slicks. So much traction, and you need telling. So following you and you saying come, it made me push harder than I would ever have pushed on my own, and that really helped a lot. And all the guidance on the points and the where to be in track position, body position was massive. Dirt riding, you move around a lot on the bike. On a road bike, I'm rigid. I'm like a plank of wood sat in the middle of the bike, and you changed that, so thanks a lot. It was really good.
Yeah, I think, as you know, I've ridden dirt bikes as well, and I think the thing about coming from dirt bikes or even road bikes to here is the grip level is literally unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. So, like you said, you wouldn't believe they could still hang on, so you're a bit worried when you're a mile away. I say to some of my clients, look, you're leaning over and you're going, thinking it's going to let go. It's like you're standing on the edge of a cliff, but 3 meters back going, there's loads to go, And I just like to throw in there, the thing about even coming from road tyres are made to work from cold to reasonably hot, you know, warm. And they have to, because you jump on them when they're stoked cold right into the shops. But rubber can't work in too big a range, so with these things, we put warmers on. They don't even work in there. They're dangerous. They're like plastic. You'll fall off. But we heat them up, and next minute you're working from quite hot, like they're all the way. That's to another level, and that's what you've felt today. It's truly amazing, isn't it?
For sure. And you know, on the SuperDuke, the thing that stands out for me is the braking performance on these bikes is just mind-blowing. Like 150 kilometers an hour, and within a few seconds you can get it down to a second gear corner. Like that blew my mind, like how good the brakes are on these things.
Yeah, you picked up that pretty well. Like it seemed like you had the confidence in a straight line that the thing's not going to let go, you know, and you picked up that quick. So yeah, impressive. As in so fast, you need harder suspension and stuff, don't you? Yeah. But you know, just you said about the dirt bike thing, and I genuinely believe once you know both, it is the same thing. You know, riding a dirt bike fast on a dirt road, you know, without jumps and things, is the same as riding a road bike fast, but at a really high level, you know. They let go in the same places, they act the same, it's just at a much higher grip level, you know. It's more scary to get there, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. And so today I got to the point where my tyre was pretty worn, the slick, and I started to feel the back moving like just like jelly in the, and I mentioned it, and Simon looked at my tyre, he's like, done, new tyre. Put a new tyre on next session, amazing, completely different. So huge, the tyres are just amazing what they do. So I guess last thing is, braking was good. I came on so much, took so much time off my lap times over the weekend, and now I just want more. So what do I need to work on next? Because I think I need to stiffen the suspension up for sure, because the bike pitches a lot, and also it upsets a lot. If you do one little thing, it moves a lot. That will help. But in terms of riding, what would you say are the things I need to focus on next?
I think you know it. That suspension, the thing is, you made really quick progress, and once you get to where you are, the road suspension is just too soft, you know. A track suspension's horrible on the road, it's rock hard, but it's so you can feel what's going on with the tyre so well, but also so you don't get that pitching, the transition. Like for example, when you grab the brakes right now, it just pitches forward, it's on the bottom, the back lifts up, then you get on the throttle, you take all that out, and I know you'll make big progress once you do that. And you've got the line sorted here. You understand where to be on the track. The thing is, once we get the suspension in, we've already got you going around all the way around the track, doing everything pretty much the same level, not just braking anymore. What we'll do is lift the whole lot up, you know, because if you just do one, you know, we just try and raise the whole lot up bit by bit by bit by bit.
I like the sound of that, lifting it up another level. So, really great. Glad I did this 2 days with you. It's priceless for me. And big question is, before we finish, did I earn my Moto Voodoo t-shirt?
More than. You can imagine he did. He's a natural, man.
It was really good. Thank you very much, mate, for everything.
Welcome, my pleasure.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this episode, please click the like button and share it with your mates. If you want to see more pre-released episodes and more special features, you can do so at www.patreon.com/LyndonPoskett. There's a link in the bottom corner of the screen where you can subscribe to me on Patreon. I like to do some personal interaction on there, messaging and discussions, so I look forward to seeing you on there. Cheers, everyone.